Greetings everybody, Dream here and welcome back to Star Stable. Today is update day and we've got some lovely stuff going on today. There was a few things released today. It's a smaller update, but it's still pretty much got some new things added that affects everybody. So, first things first, the Equestrian Festival gets even better this week. This week we say hello to the updated Lipizzaner. Now, this has been a highly requested horse to get updated, and they chose to, instead of giving us new coat colors, to give us an updated Lipizzaner, which, hey, I'm fine with that. New horses, whether it be new coats or new models. Whoop. And there's some glitching going on, so ignore that. We also have our first ever dressage in game. So they have given us dressage for us to try out in the Equestrian Festival. This is the first time that Star Stable Online has had dressage. I know they had it in Starshine Legacy and probably in one of the Season Rider games. And there's other games that do have dressage. It's just that Star Stable couldn't figure out how to code it until recently, I guess. Who knows? Or maybe the way it would have been coded in the past just wouldn't work out so well now. Anyway, those are some new things that we got. We also got some new user interface stuff, which is actually the HUD. We now have the ability to change the scaling. Now, right now they're calling it UI scaling. Technically, it's called HUD. And you can go small, medium, large. And what that will do is it'll make it, depending on your screen resolution, it'll make it really small, really big, or somewhere in the middle. And there's a couple different factors on what you want to do. If you have a really small resolution, like I can't think of anybody who would have 1024 by 76 or 768, but if you had that resolution, you may want to consider using the small UI. If you have a 4K monitor, you may want to consider using the large UI. I have a 2K screen resolution. My screen is actually smaller though. It's not very big. So everything was tiny. So the medium actually will work for me. And the medium size looks like if it was on a 1600 by 900 almost. For me at least. And that's what I'll be running with instead of that teeny tiny little itty bitty UI. So I can now see my inventory. I can always see that. I can see a lot of stuff. However, today we're going to be going ahead and running the rest of the new updates to the event. I'm actually going to try not to restart this recording a dozen times, so whatever mistakes I say in my talking, that's on me. I've got to practice to be able to talk better. So, you'll hear my unscripted mistakes in speaking. Sometimes I can't English, even though I'm an English speaker. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get one of the new Lipizzaners. I don't have any other horses to train. In fact, I had to skip some of the activities yesterday, Tuesday, because I did not have any horses to train. I think the only activity I skipped was doing the race with Sabine. But for the most part, everything else I did, and I will be doing the rest today. So my starter got to run with me all day yesterday. At least the times that I was actually online. So let's go. And the Lipizzaners should be over here where the nab strippers used to be. And they used to have some of the Parisians, all the Parisians over here, and all the nab strippers over here, and then they just moved them over here so that now there's only 3 of each showing. So I got a feeling a little bit later they're going to actually add another horse to this area and have only 3 Lipizzaner showing and 3 of another horse breed. We'll see. But they have all 7 color or coat variations here. Usually they only have 6, but they opted to put all 7. So I don't know if we're ever going to get one in the app. If we don't, then we don't. That's fine. Let's take a look at what we got here. We've got a light gray. We've got a flea bitten. We've got a dapple. We've got what I believe everybody calls a steel gray. We've got a rose gray, a bay, and a black. I actually wanted 2 out of these horses, and that would be the flea bitten and the rose gray. Flea bitten because it would actually replace my current Gen 2 flea bitten, which is the only Gen 2 Lipizzaner I own. I did not really like the Gen 2s. I know others do, but they weren't my cup of tea. But I liked the flea bitten, so I got that one when that was available. So, walk, trot, canter, gallop, fast gallop. That's its special gait. That's its special move. It does not show its rearing animation, but its rearing animation is not. It's the special move that the Gen 2 had. Just changed. There's the dapple, there's the light gray, there's the rose gray, which is actually pretty nice. There's the steel, the bay, who I think does not have any markings whatsoever. And then the black, which only has the star. None of them really have markings. The rose gray does. This one, I'd have to look at it closer, but you know, we're gonna go with this one. Change mane. It's got a default style. It's got a default style plus a alternate tail. It's got the most people call it the mohawk. It's actually called I'm just gonna call it mohawk. Roach mane, braids. I don't like these spider braids. Button braid, a shortcut, and then button braid plus the special tail. Oh, I thought they were $9.50. They're $9. Oh, that's because of the main style. Okay, never mind. I wanted to get one with this tail, so the nice long mane and then that special tail, but I could just go ahead and just leave it like that. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Keep it at the $9.50. Alright, personalize. I'm gonna make you an adult. I'm gonna make you a mare. And I had a name in mind. Diamond. I'm gonna call mine Diamond Storm because I already have Diamond Dust, and I like to kind of name my upgraded versions to similar names as my older versions. So, Diamond Storm, bought you at $8.29. Alright, so I'm gonna ride you now because I have space in my stable and I don't have any issues with my horses. And I am actually going to tack you up. There we go. Alright, so this is Diamond Storm. So, that's the special move. That's the rearing animation. And if I can get this to work, I know that I've had issues with getting the special gates to work. Okay, there we go. And here's the special gate, which kind of reminds me of the Percheron Moose Walk. It's called Passage. So, yay! We've got a passage horse. All right. Let's go ahead and check out the dressage. Now, I will admit some of the animations may be a little off for some people. Like the fast gallop is kind of weird. But we're going to work on this. Now, I'm currently 64 out of 80 for impressing the Baroness. I know some people have actually got to 80 today or yesterday. So kudos to you all for running champs. I am not on all day and I'm unable to run all 10 champs. Excuse me. Alright, so to start the dressage, we need to talk to Chloe here. So I don't know if it's Chloe or Chloe, but I've heard some people say Chloe, so that's what I'm going to do. So let's talk to her for a minute. Welcome to the dressage arena. I got permission to run a dressage event to teach people the sport. Dressage is quite popular, but it's not really practiced here. You usually have to travel if you want to compete. So I'm trying to drum up some excitement, because if more riders in Jorvik want to do dressage, then it might become a local thing, right? We could get some actual trainers and professional judges to come here. Sounds great, right? Do you want to try out my introduction to basic dressage? I do. Now, Chloe said that it's not really practiced here, and that's because of some other stuff. Jorvik is primarily show jumping and cross country. You've got some western sprinkled in there, and hopefully they will do full-on dressage things in the game now once they get this whole event over, because this is kind of like an introduction practice, whatever. To be honest, they actually did do some mock dressage if you did the druid missions and druid training, more or less the druid training, but also with things like caring for the foal or helping Anne recently with a horse. So, yeah, we've had some forms of dressage. It's just was not really set up. So, you get 2 tokens for this, for the introduction, and then I think you get, like 2 or 4 for the actual mastery. We're going to see. Alright. Before we get started, the most important thing in dressage is performing the test correctly. It's not about speed. Aim for the highest amount of points instead. So, how do you get points? Well, by doing the dressage test as close to perfection as possible. Think of it as dance choreography. You practice some moves and perform them to the beat. But instead of dance moves, it's following set riding patterns in the arena as closely as you can while being in the correct gait. You get points for each pattern based on how well you did, ranging from 0 to 10, with the higher number being better. If you don't follow the intended pattern, let's say you go the wrong direction or are galloping when you should be in canter, you get a penalty. You get a penalty. Okay. 3 penalties in one pattern and you're out. Either start again or go back to training and memorizing the pattern. Since this is your first time, I'll let you continue with the lesson despite how many mistakes you make. but I'll still call out the penalties because I'm not going to be blamed for teaching you wrong. Right? All right? I think they should have put the word correct there, but you know. When you're ready, start by going to the first checkpoint in the middle of the arena while in a walking gait. Alright, sorry for that little pause, but I had to get a drink and say something off screen. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start, and it's going to guide us, pretty much. Now, I did the dressage on an alt, and I will tell you that I did worse in the practice than I did in the regular, in the mastery. It also helps to turn your camera. One thing that's super important in every dressage test is that you greet the judges. Show us some proper respect with a bow. You're doing well so far. Go on to the next checkpoint right ahead. And you can see everybody here, but I think in the practice you can see everybody. In the in the mastery you can't. Alright, turn to look behind you and to your left. Do you see the green checkpoint over there? That means that once you reach that checkpoint, you'll be instructed to change the gate. Gate changes are flagged in advance with green checkpoints. So switch over to a trot once you reach the point. So follow the path as best as you can. And I will switch right about now. There we go. Alright, so I need to switch to canter in now. Whoops. Hey, pay attention to what gate you should be in. Remember, dressage is not about speed. You're graded based on how closely you follow the test pattern. Okay, well, I did. Okay, so I did end up messing up right there. Go. Whoops. Okay, I hit down arrow too quickly. So be careful with your arrows, and I do advise using the arrows or the WASD on your keyboard because you're going to mess up less. I'm not doing so good. Now this is where I messed up in my practice, but it looks like as long as I turned at the right point, then I'm fine. Alright, that should give you an idea how dressage works. Let's wrap things up. Just like you said hello, and now it's time to say thank you and goodbye. Give the judges and the audience a bow before exiting the arena. Alright, I got 58 out of 60. I think in my other practice on my alt account, I had about the same. Alright. So, how was it? That was the introduction, but you should now have a gist of the basics. Keep in mind that little test is in no way close to how the real dressage could be should it become the next big thing here in Jorvik. There are different types of dressage, and this is one that I am most familiar with. I'll be honest, I'll be hosting dressage training and daily competition until the end of the festival. What's the difference between the two? Part of dressage is memorizing the test. Again, comparing it to dancing. Most isn't freestyle. It's following an established choreography. So dressage training is for practice, while the competition is the real deal. You getting up on stage to shine. You can train as much as you want, and I'll help you learn it as best you can. Then you do the competition where you have to rely more on your memory and instincts. I'll even give you a prize if you complete it. It'll be the same test throughout the festival, so don't worry about learning a new one every week, alright? I'll see you around, I hope. Alright, so, oh wow, that got my horse up to level 3. So we're going to do the practice at least once, and then we're going to try the mastery, because I've done the mastery and the practice on my alt, so I should have a general idea of what I'm doing. But to show you guys, would you like to do some dressage training? You can practice as many times as you want, but the competition is once daily. So you get nothing for this, it's just practice. Alright. So of course we start off with walk, and it will automatically stop you at that first checkpoint. So the practice will have the arrows, but the mastery will not. Okay. Okay, I didn't do too bad. I did mute my mic during that because that way I can focus a little bit better. So, I did have a couple of issues with changing the gait, and that I find I have that quite often. So, as long as you get between 80 and 90, you should be good. So let's go talk to Chloe real quick. Alright. Now we're going to actually try the mastery without doing the training again, because I'm pretty confident that I know what I'm doing. We'll see. And if I have to restart it twice, then I'll restart it twice and just speed up the video. But I am going to mute my mic, and let's get running. Alright. Are you ready to show me what you can do? Remember, you can practice as many times as you want, but you can only compete once every day. If you want to check your progress by looking at the final score, you need to do that yourself. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork I have to do every day to have this event up and running. Sorry, but I can't keep track of your score for you. Also, I'm going to be harsher when calling out penalties, okay? Don't think I didn't notice your eyes bugging out when you realize you're making a mistake during training. I'm acting as a proper judge during competitions, not as your friend or trainer. Just remember to project confidence and maintain proper posture. Trust in yourself and Diamond Storm. You're on top of the world when you're riding. You can do this. All right, and we get a whopping 600 for this. So, and for tokens. So, I'm going to mute my mic and we're going to go through this. Okay, I would have lost to my alternative account that actually got 100 after doing this twice. Again, the issue was the gate changing, and I think what I did is I changed a little too early, or too late for one of them. But either way, I did pretty good for not being able to see the arrows. I almost slipped up with one of the loops. My brain said go straight, but you're supposed to go in an arc. So yeah, I kind of goofed up a little there. So let's go talk to Chloe. All right. You got through the competition. Good job. Not that there was any doubt. Hope to see you compete again tomorrow. All right. So that was Dressage in Star Stable Online. I think now I'm normally not a dressage person. I think I just get irritated with, and I mean mostly SSO dressage / drill. I think I just get a little irritated with the instruction part that people do. And I don't know, I think there's just something that just irritates me about it. But I'm fine with dressage in and of itself. I just can't do it with a group. So I can't do actual drill or dressage that most SSO players do. But this was fine. I was fine with this. And there's a NPC running through me. How do I do that? Okay. So anyway, that was it for the dressage of the event, among other things. The rest of the event, or the rest of the stuff in the game for the event, is the same as last week. So yeah, next week we should be getting some more stuff to do. I think we have something with Sabine. We may get Scott. I have to double check and see if we get Scott. But I know Sabine is probably going to show up next week, and I know the Baroness is going to show up next week. So, until next time, everybody, this is Dream and Diamond Storm signing off, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye-bye.